With the topic of engineering career. We discussed the steps you must take to build your career. Starts with education. Okay, in order to so I gave the example that there could be a site, a foreman or somebody who is working on the site for 20 years, but the company does not call them engineers. They call you engineer because you have the shahada, you have the certificate for that. Uh, the thing which I missed last time was that the certificate should be from an accredited program. Okay, the certificate should be from an accredited program. What does it mean? Let me give you one very obvious example. Nowadays, if you go online, you will find a lot of courses and a lot of programs for the whole degree, for the whole bachelor's. Okay, so you will find a lot of like video series which are taking you from A to Z of any field. Okay, and you take those videos, you look at those videos, and you have gone through them in so much detail that you have memorized all the words they have said. Uh, you have taken into your account whatever they have explained. Okay, you understood everything from A to Z. But does this make you an engineer? No. Okay, it doesn't make you an engineer because you have taken education which was unaccredited. Accredited means recognized. Okay, the word accredited means certified or recognized. Okay, so for example, if you are coming from somewhere outside Bahrain, so you came into Bahrain and you have a bachelor's degree from any other country, okay, and you are looking for a job or a master's degree in Bahrain. So what they will ask you to do is you will go to the Ministry of Education, okay, and they will see if your degree is equivalent to what is offered in Bahrain universities, okay. So and then they will certify that your degree or your qualification is the same level as Bahrain. Okay, why they are doing it? Because if you get a degree in Bahrain, that degree will be certified by the Bahrain Quality Assurance or National Quality Framework Body. It is recognized by the Ministry of Education and Higher Education Commission. Okay, and if it is engineering, then if it is engineering and from UOB, then it is also recognized by international bodies. We have certifications from international bodies as well. So what these certifications mean? These certifications mean that the program fulfills all the requirements of what this degree should have. Okay, for example, training. Okay, so if you took a course online, there was no training involved. Okay, because they cannot give you online video trainings. Okay, you are not involved in anything, you are not going to an organization, you are not going into office. Okay, so whatever they are doing, they are just telling you what should be done, but you didn't get any experience. Okay, so that online video series will never get recognition, will never get certification. Okay, and even if they issue you a certificate, so you tell them, see, I have spent 100 hours of my life watching your video series and I completed all of them. Okay, you will give me a certificate, so they can give you a certificate as well. Okay, but that certificate will not mean anything, will not be recognized by any country or by any board or by any company. Okay, because the program which you went through was not accredited, it was not certified. Okay, so in order to get the program certified, the program must fulfill all the requirements. One of the requirement I told you is training, and the requirement is lab work, another requirement is assessments. Okay, so if a program says, oh, we are teaching our students, they are coming to the classes, okay, we are providing everything, okay, but we don't take exams. When the student finishes number of hours, we give them the degree. Every all of you will love that program. Hmm? No stress in our lives of exam and tests and assignments. Okay, but that piece of paper doesn't mean anything. Okay, you like it, okay, but it's just a waste of time as far as you are concerned. Okay, so I missed this term last time, accreditation. Okay, so many of you, I hope, and many of you could be forced to take up higher education. I already explained as a part of your career advancement, taking a specialization, going for a higher degree. So that is a part of your professional career building. So when you go for these specializations, you should look into the universities which have a good name, which have certified programs. Okay, don't look for something which is very convenient. Okay, I am happy in my life, but I have made some choices in my life where I feel that I should not have gone for the most convenient option. Okay, I still the degrees I got are from recognized universities. Okay, but even within those recognized universities, there are levels. Okay, so if you get a chance to go to a higher level of university with a little bit more difficulty, then you should go for it. It will benefit you in future. Okay, so but accreditation or the recognition is the minimum criteria. Okay, when you go so for to take admission in any university, you check in which from which bodies they are recognized. Okay, the first and foremost is from the country in which they are offering the degrees. Okay, I believe in Bahrain the regulations are strict enough. Okay, especially at the higher education level, that we don't have institutes or organizations which are providing these degrees, not certificates, degrees, not software certificates or something like this. Proper degrees which are not recognized. I believe and I hope so. But there are other countries in which you can rent out a building, you can put a board university, and you can start education and collect fees and hire people to give the courses, and you have labs and everything. But in the end, you did not go to the ministry who will give you the recognition. So people are taking the degree from there, but that degree is not recognized even in their own country. So this is absolute minimum. Okay, so one thing you should look for when you are, obviously you are in UOB, which is alhamdulillah a very well recognized university all across the world. Okay, but if you go for higher education and you are not going for UOB, you are going for some other countries, you should look for the program which are recognized, accredited, and if you get choices, then you should go for a choice which is more recognized, which has higher ranking, okay, which has better facilities, even if it means a little bit more difficulty for you. It will inshallah pay you later on. Okay, so those were the things which you should do during your studies, or you can do during your studies, and then after studies, mainly you should look for building your specialization, continuing your education in one form or the other. It could be in the form of higher degrees, or it could be in the form of small courses. Okay, these are called as micro credential courses. I talked about them earlier as well. And in your career, try to take leadership roles. Okay, try to take leadership roles. So and I told you what leadership means. I have told you earlier as well what leadership means. So I just want to check if you remember something. Leadership means giving orders, taking responsibilities, a higher position in the organization. Okay, which of them is called leadership in the true sense? Yes. What about the remaining 12 people? Mm-hmm. 11 is still left. Okay, so yes, most of you have got the right idea. Okay, leadership is about taking responsibilities. Okay, and what this also means that it's not about taking a higher position in the organization. Okay, so you can be a leader. Okay, and you can be just a fresh engineer in the organization, and you don't have, like, you just have a trainee engineer label with your name. So this person is a trainee engineer, but you can still take leadership if you are fulfilling your responsibilities properly. Okay, and this is why it is emphasized here. Taking a higher position is not in your control. Okay, why it is taking on leadership roles, meaning you take ownership and responsibility of your tasks. Okay, you cannot go, and you shouldn't go, like, it's, I don't know, yeah, there are mixed reactions and mixed arguments whether you should do it or not. Okay, but if you ask me, you if somebody offers you, you take it, but you shouldn't go around looking for these responsibilities, looking for these higher positions. Okay, because imagine if you uh, if you went to the boss, or you went to any person and you said, see, I can take this position, you should give it to me. Now you are saying it either directly or indirectly. Okay, yes, it can be said in an indirect manner as well. If you had given me, I would have done this and this and this. I have seen somebody who did this a few years ago. Okay, like, he said it indirectly. Something happened, and that person said, if I was in this position, we will not be having these problems. That person said it in front of me many times. Okay, then the position was given to that person. Okay, the same position for which he was saying, if I was there in that person's position, I would have done this and this. Okay, so he said this. So obviously now you are indirectly saying, give this position to me, I'm better. Okay, I will do this job better than the other person. Okay, and that job was given to that person, and in 2 years, 2 years is not a lot if you have asked for this position yourself. I believe it was even less than 2 years. Okay, uh, so in less than 2 years, that person got so frustrated, so stressed, because of that position which was given to him, because of he said it, what he said. That person went to his boss, and he said to her, his boss was a woman, he said to her that, if I keep this position, I will die of stress. And not only that, just take this position from me, and do not give me any other main position. I am so stressed. Okay, like, I cannot do, because of this, I cannot do anything else. I cannot take responsibility of anything else as well. I'm so stressed. This is something which happened in front of me. Okay, I have seen people who just go forward. Okay, they take one responsibility, one position, then they take the higher one, the higher one, the higher one, and they do it for many, many years. Okay, I have another case where I have seen one person. He took, I don't know how, I don't know him that closely, but somehow he kept on taking, or he kept on going from one position to the higher one to the higher one. Okay, so after every 3, 4, 5 years, he was going or promoted, being promoted to the higher position. Okay, but that person took the responsibility. He never complained. He never said I have too much stress and I have this and I have that. Okay, yes, he was working very hard. I can see that. Okay, he was working very hard, and he used to work maybe from early in the morning till late at night. I have seen that as well. Okay, so so you have now two cases where a person indirectly asked for a position, and when the position was given to him, he could not handle it. Okay, and obviously you don't have anything to go back to now, because you asked for it indirectly or directly, and you cannot handle it. So now you can imagine the trust and confidence of the company in that person. He asked for something, and within a short period of time, the reason why I gave the example of the other person who kept on going to the higher position and the higher position, just to give you the context, I have known that person for how many years? 20 years. No, more than 20 years, 25 years. The other person, okay, who was promoted and promoted and promoted. So for 20-25 years, uh, that person maintained the forward progression. So if somebody can maintain for 20-25 years this sort of leadership, now compare this person to this person who said sorry in 2 years. Okay, somebody maintained his leadership role for more than 20 years. Somebody said I cannot handle it in 2 years. Okay, so just to give you an idea that once you take something, you are taking it for long term. Okay, don't think that I will beg for some position, cry for some position because of some benefits, and then after 6 months I will see if it fits me, I will keep on taking it. If it doesn't fit me, I will. No, by doing this, you are making a joke out of yourself. Okay, you are making others feel that this person is not responsible, this person is not what you call reliable. Okay, so we don't know if he is asking for something, he will be able to handle it, and if he is asking for something, how long he will be able to handle it. Okay, so don't think that I will ask for a position and for 1 year, 2 years, and if it doesn't fit, I will. No, taking on the position in professional life is not for short term, it's always for long term. You should always go forward from here, not back. Okay, and this, yes, there are people who think that if somehow I somebody took the position away from me, then it's my insult and I cannot work any longer. This is also bad, this is also wrong. Okay, but the point because of which I started this discussion is the leadership role. Okay, when you ask for it, okay, not the leadership role, sorry, the higher position, when you ask for it, you are taking a lot of risk. Yeah, somebody offers you, if it is advertised, okay, your company announces that we have a manager position empty and everybody is applying, you can apply as well. Okay, because part of the process, but you should not go out of your way, okay, to the boss or to the higher administration and say that no, give it to me, I will handle it, or I can do it better than others, and so on and so forth. No, if it is offered with a through proper process, then you can take it. Okay, but that doesn't mean you are not having a leadership role. Okay, that doesn't mean you are not having a leadership role. No, your responsibility, for example, now you are working in a group. Okay, you are working in a group. Okay, so you have 3 or 4 people with you, right? The poll is ended. You have 3 or 4 people working with you. Okay, you want each of them to be a leader of their job, to be a leader of their task. Okay, leadership means taking responsibility, means I will, if something is given to me, I will try to fulfill it to the best of my ability. Okay, and believe me, there's nobody in the world which doesn't have anything to do. If you do that thing with your full commitment, without relying on others, then you are a leader for that job. Okay, you assume that, okay, if I say to others, you do this, you do this, you do this, then I become a leader. No. If you are saying to everybody what they should do and they are not doing it because they are not taking leadership for their task, your leadership doesn't mean anything. Okay, so if every person in the team is not feeling the ownership and the leadership of their task, okay, then the whole team will fail. Okay, so that's why it is mentioned as part of the career responsibilities. Yes, if everybody thinks, now imagine this, you have 4 engineers working in your team. Okay, everybody took these motivational courses and these courses in the undergraduate program where they were telling them to take the leadership role. All 4 of them have passed through the same program. Even when they went to the company manager arranged for them some workshops, and the people came in the workshop and they told them, okay, you have to be the leader. Now all 4 of them want to be the leader. Okay, want to be the leader. Okay, but their leadership means giving orders. Their leadership means taking a higher position. Okay, so imagine if 4 people are going for this, 4 people have this target in their mind. That leadership, I should be a leader, I should take leadership role, and leadership means taking a higher position. Leadership means giving orders. Leadership means, going above the others. Okay, no team anywhere in any organization can work with people like this. Okay, this is why I'm telling you, this is a reality, that in today's professional organizations there's a lot of stress, more stress than what people used to feel 20-30 years ago. There are studies. Modern business organizations have more stressed workers, more frustrated workers than they used to have 20-30 years ago. And these workers have more facilities than what these companies were offering 20-30 years ago, even if it is the same organization. So from where the stress and the frustration is coming? It is coming from increased competition. Okay, and this is not competition for work. This is not competition for development. When you are working, you develop yourself, you improve yourself. The competition is coming for higher positions. There can be only one leader of the team. There can be maybe 5 managers in the whole company, but there are many people who will never take these roles. Okay, or they will take maybe after 5 years, 10 years, when somebody from the top management retires. But what will happen in these 5-10 years when that person is doing his job? He is the head of the company, he is the boss, he is the CEO, and he is doing his job fine. And there is no problem with his job. The company is working, it is making profit, but the people who are under him, the 20 people who are working under him, all of them have this mentality in their mind that I should be taking leadership role because I have, taken some workshops, and my career cannot move forward until I get to a higher position. Okay, you are destroying your company, you are destroying your organization. And when people do that, obviously they are not progressing themselves. Okay, it's something which people have their mind, that if I progress, the organization will progress. No, if you work with others, then organization progress. Okay. Yes, yes, now you got the right idea. Okay, so yeah, so the I believe the final point was, no, there were other points. So even within engineering, within civil engineering, you can look for fields which are more aligned with your interests. Okay, so engineering, all of engineering is not the same thing. Okay, what engineers do, they do design for new things, they analyze data, okay, they test, perform tests. Tests can be lab tests, survey tests, and so on and so forth. They implement the design, they do the construction in our field. If you are in mechanical engineering, that you are implementing the design in the factory, okay, and so on and so forth. Lifelong profession is maintenance, okay. Building gets constructed in 6 months, okay. The whole design and construction phase can take maybe 8 months, but the maintenance takes 80 years, okay. So it's more important. It has its own importance. Then we have the, I believe I did not cover these things. Engineers do research as well, okay. And research means you are looking for something new which has not been tried, to improve or provide solution to the existing problems, okay. So either you are doing something new to improve some existing process, some existing item, or you are doing something new to solve a problem, okay. So but research means you are doing something new, and that something new could be a new material. So somebody may have invented plastic for the first time, right? So I said that's a new material. Somebody may have thought about using fibers, fiberglass for the first time. So this is an invention, okay, invention of a new material, and now we are using it all over the place, right? Glass, even glass, the normal simple glass which you have, okay, at one point of time that was a new material, okay. Research or innovation can be in terms of technology, okay. So your phone, the laptop, the camera, the, what you call, the AI, for example, okay. The AI tools you have, these are all technologies, okay. Machines, softwares, algorithms, which can make your life easier, which can do your work faster, okay. So their invention, their development for the first time was part of research. And research or innovation can be in the form of methods as well, okay. So for example, somebody may say that in concrete, instead of mixing sand, you can mix some waste material. If you use this waste material, for example, the waste material you get from the from steel industry, okay, or waste paper, then it will give you good results. So they are not introducing a new material, they are introducing a new method of mixing concrete or preparing concrete, okay. Or precast slabs, for example, precast concrete members, the ones which they do in the factory and then bring it on the site and then they use it. So it's the same concrete, right? It is the same concrete, okay. It's still made up of cement, water, sand, and whatever. So ingredients are same, but the process is different now. Method is different, okay. Same thing with the where you have the post tensioning, okay. The post tensioning. Anybody knows what post tensioning means? It is done for steel. Anyone has an idea what does it mean? Post tensioning. So when we put steel in the uh, concrete, we can do post tensioning for it. Anybody has any idea what does it mean? Or pre tensioning, post tensioning, pre tensioning, both are done. Steel doesn't cut. You cut steel, right? Like it's not due to tensile strength. Okay. You are close enough. Okay, but pre-tensioning and post-tensioning means that you stretch the steel yourself. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's correct. So yes, you have steel bars in concrete, and then you stretch them, okay, before pouring concrete or after pouring concrete, but before putting the load. So this extra stretching makes the members makes the members stronger, especially in case of compression and so on. Okay, so post tensioning, pre tensioning is it's the same steel, but you are stretching it before putting load on it, so it can take more load after you release the tension. Okay, so the point was this is innovation in method. Okay, I did not innovate. I did not produce a new type of steel. It's the same steel. Okay, but I'm using it in a different way. Okay, I'm using it in a different way. In other courses which you will take later on, they will tell you exactly the mechanism behind post tensioning and how does it make the member stronger and so on. I will not go into details, but my point was to give you an idea about a method. Okay, a method that is considered innovation. So post tensioning or precast slabs, these are all considered innovation in methods. Okay, uh, so you have innovation in technology, innovation in material, innovation in method. Okay, but we are considering from the point of view of engineer. Okay, an engineer who tries to make life easier for others or try to solve problems for others. Okay, so you cannot say that uh, you cannot just take on any innovation just because new. Everything new cannot be used or cannot fulfill the engineering standards. Okay, so you may have a new material, but it is harmful for the environment. Okay, what we have found about plastic, right? Okay, so when it was invented, people thought that it is very beneficial. It's very flexible, and you can mold it into any shape. It is strong as well. Okay, you can prepare it in different varieties. But now we've found that yes, it has some negative impacts for the environment as well. Okay, same thing with the fuel. Okay, people started using fuel. They were using coal earlier, the coal which you use for barbecue, right? So a lot of countries are now banning the use of coal for any sort of energy because of the environmental impacts. Okay, I believe China has done that, and European countries are not using it at all. Okay, so the why? Because of the environment. But obviously, and when it was invented for the first time, people used it, and they were not thinking that there could be environmental effects. But now it is gaining more awareness, environmental effect, health effect. So any innovation cannot be used in engineering. You have to look at the effects. Okay, so if something makes life easier, something provides a new solution to the problem, you can go for it. Okay, project management. I may have mentioned the most important area for engineers in the Gulf region, especially. Yes, all around the world as well. Yes. Okay, there are many countries in which management is taking more management education is taking more uh, what do you call more priority, more focus. Okay, but in Gulf countries there's a gap. Okay, because universities in Gulf region are not specializing so much in case of this field. So it is required, but mostly it is handled by people who are coming from outside. Okay, so even if you go to UOB and you go to business management, for example, this is our highest intake in business management. Okay, so business management, project management, Okay, they are becoming very, very important fields. Okay, uh, so something which you should consider. Other countries which are doing good in this is like countries like Malaysia and USA even. Okay, they are putting a lot of focus on this field. Okay, so what is project management? You are planning for the project, you are taking care of budgeting, scheduling, you are coordinating between the activities. A project has many activities. Later on, you will take the construction management, construction engineering courses. They will show you what project activities you have. Some of you may have taken cost estimation, I don't know, quantity estimation. So you have the people who have taken those courses, they should have an idea about the activities in the construction projects, concreting and formwork and excavation and so on and so forth. So you have to coordinate between these activities because each activity may need a different resource. Okay, so excavation needs an excavator. Okay, steel binding needs more people on the site and it needs steel as well. Okay, concrete needs formwork and a mixer and the concrete components and so on and so forth, and compactor and so on. So every activity needs something different and you cannot put everything on the project site at the same time. Then you will not have any place to work. So you need to coordinate between the activities. You have to look at their order and you have to plan your resources according to their order, and you have to make sure that it is on the site at the right time. Okay, so in the end, your goal is that you finish the project on time and within budget. Engineers do a lot of collaboration as well. And obviously, the most challenging part is when you are collaborating with other people from other fields. Okay, so can you give me an idea about the people from other fields which you need to collaborate as engineers? People who are not civil engineers, which you may have to work with in the projects later on. Which non-civil engineering collaborators you may have to work on. Okay, architects. Who else? Business people. You mean business managers or something? Construction managers. The construction managers will kill you, Abdul Aziz. If you are counting them as non-civil engineers, they will kill you. Okay, government regulatory bodies, yes. Municipalities, permitting authorities, yes. Mechanical engineers, very good. And which other engineer? The mechanical engineers, you will face them like in most of your projects. Urban planner, yes, very good. Electric engineer, yes. Okay, construction workers, computer engineer. Construction workers are fine. Construction workers are not civil engineers. Materials engineering, okay. Okay. So yes, good, good. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. What Abdulaziz is saying, or the point raised by Abdulaziz, construction managers are mainly civil engineers. Construction workers are workers. You understand the labor, and you have to deal with them. And they can be, they are not civil engineers, and they are not any engineers. Okay. So at some level, you may find it easier to handle another engineer, even if he or she is not civil engineer. But managing workers, labor is a whole new different thing. It's a whole different item. Okay, they are there. They think differently. Okay, so communicating with the mechanical engineer about a civil engineering project could be much easier than communicating with a worker who is working on the site for 20 years. Okay, because the thinking process is different. Okay, so maybe some of you know my field is traffic engineering. Okay, so dealing with a person who is not traffic engineer is easier for me if he is a civil engineer from any other field. So I can more easily explain the concepts of traffic engineering to a structural engineer, to a mechanical engineer, to electrical engineer, as compared to uh, you know explaining them to a driver, for example. Although he is dealing with traffic throughout his life, okay, because their thinking process is different. Uh, Highly skilled construction workers. Uh, Highly skilled. Yes, yes. Those construction workers, they get their skills from experience basically. Okay, some of them are diploma holders as well. So yes, the point was we can include them as non civil engineers. This was my point. But the thing which I was explaining, I was trying to get my experience was that once there was a seminar, and it was for they have associations, taxi companies, truck companies, they have their associations. Okay, so they form an organization where they are looking for each other's interests. So there was an association like this, and there was a seminar, and that seminar there were people who were from that association, and the seminar was on traffic safety. Okay, so I was giving a presentation, and during the presentation, one of them completely went berserk because I was showing a video of an accident, and that accident there was a truck. It was a random video. I just took it from YouTube. Okay, and there was a truck in the accident. Okay, and I don't know what I said about the truck, but he got angry. He said, "Why are you saying bad things about the truck drivers, and you are insulting us?" And this was happening during the seminar. Like there were 300, 400 people in the room, in the hall, and this person stopped everything in the middle and started shouting. Okay, so if as far as driving is concerned, as far as traffic laws are concerned, as far as vehicle is concerned, he knows more than me. That person knows more than me. Okay, but to talk to that person about a traffic accident became difficult as compared to the remaining or as compared to a student, a civil engineering student. Okay, so my point was that yes, not only people who are other professionals, they can be people who have lower education level, and you still have to deal with them, and this can be a different challenge. This was my point. Okay, this is the point. In some cases you deal with scientists as well. Okay, let's say you are constructing a lab, so you have to know their requirements. There are many civil engineers which are hired by NASA, okay, or other scientific organizations around the world. Okay, so for example, they when they start preparing a new mission for the moon or for the Mars, or they have to do a whole set of construction for that. Okay, it's not like you are doing this every year. Even for that particular organization, even for NASA, one mission to Mars happens in many many years. Okay, so they, when they are preparing that mission, they do whole lot of construction for preparing the rocket and preparing the products they need to put in the rocket. Okay, so they a lot of civil engineering and construction work is involved there. So you have to deal directly with the scientists. You try to find out what they are looking for, then you design it according to their requirement, customized, completely customized. Okay, so you are only doing it for them. You may not use that design ever again. It's only just for that product, for that particular application. Okay, so again, to emphasize the role of collaboration, emphasize the role of communication, how you are able to listen to others, respect them, take their opinion, and how well you are able to communicate with them. Okay, how you can explain your point of view to them. Okay, how best you can do it. Okay, and so I already gave you some of the examples about the complexity of the problems, and you have to deal with them. You cannot leave out these people. Even if they don't understand you, even if they are putting up new challenges, if they are becoming angry and they are becoming difficult for you, you still have to deal with them, because without them your project cannot be completed. You cannot resolve your issues, you cannot solve your problems by leaving out these other people. Okay, what type of engineers we have? Okay, we have civil engineers. You know what are civil engineers? We deal with construction, design of the infrastructure projects. Okay, you can add maintenance here as well. And infrastructure projects can be these buildings, bridges, roads. We have discussed almost all of them. Mechanical engineers, very closely working with civil engineers, and they are dealing with mechanical systems, their design, their development. And these systems can be engines, machines, the heating, ventilation systems, HVAC. Okay, then we have electrical engineers. Again, electrical systems are now becoming more and more part of the construction work because of all the automation we are doing. Okay, so we need automatic parking gates, we need automatic security system, we need automatic sensors for water leakage and whatnot. Okay, so there are more electrical appliances in your house than there were 5 years ago, and they are increasing, right? And for all these appliances, you need the power system as well, the distribution system. Okay, and then you have the main power generation distribution system, the power plants, the laying out of the utility lines and so on. So we work with all of them. Telecommunication is also considered part of electronics. In Pakistan, we had the department of telecommunication with the same faculty, electrical engineering. Here is still same. Even in UOB, communication engineering or whatever that is considered part of electrical little bit, and even IT people sometimes handle it. Okay, but it's merged with other fields. Then we have chemical engineers. Okay, they see the chemical process and the equipments which are used in the industries. Okay, in case of Bahrain, then the most important ones. Which industries are more important for Bahrain? Tell me. Most important industries for Bahrain. They have been in the news. So which industries are considered more important for Bahrain? By industries, I mean that I don't mean the fields, okay? Okay, industry. Which industries are important for Bahrain? You can see the question. This is why I write it. Okay, so I don't mean the fields. So you don't say civil engineering, mechanical. I mean the exact industry. Okay, industry for making oil and gas, yes. Anything else? Aluminium, yes. Okay. Anything else comes to your mind? We have oil and gas, we have aluminium, we have steel as well, yes. Finance, iron and steel, yes. Finance is like a field, so yes, it is important, but it's like a field. Okay. But yes, the other options are good. Okay, so you have an idea. So in all these industries which you have mentioned, there are chemical processes involved: steel, oil and gas, aluminium. Okay, so there are chemical processes involved there. So they need chemical engineers which can take care of these processes. And I found that in many countries now they have, especially in Gulf countries, because of the oil and gas, I believe they are putting it as a separate specialization. Not okay. The chemical chemist, a person who is doing good in chemistry will not suffice in these industries. Okay, then we have computer engineers, again something which is becoming more common, more popular. Okay, and they handle the softwares, the networks, computer networks. I told you communications as well. If the communication is through the, it's digital. Okay, fintech, very good name. Industrial chemicals, titanium, I don't know. Okay, it's fine. Zara, cool down. Okay, it's fine. We can move on. Yes. Then we have aerospace engineers. One of you has taken a term project related to airplane hangars. We did one project last year for the design of an airport. So the point is, it's a specialized field. You may say that why, because we have mechanical engineers which take care of machines and engines, okay, and we have civil engineers which take care of construction, okay, of other things. But when it comes to airports and aircrafts, it is very specialized. Okay, so it could be related to the design of aircraft could be related to mechanical, but any mechanical engineer cannot do it. Okay, similarly, the design of airport can be related to design of any building, but not any design engineer, civil engineer can do it. Specialized. Okay, because you know it's very special. It's not what you see in the airport. You will not find it anywhere else. Okay, then we have environmental engineers. Okay, we have specialized programs in UOB for environmental engineering, MSc and PhD. I have a colleague here in the College of Science who is an environmental engineer. Okay, although he is from College of Science. Okay, not from College of Engineering, but he has his higher degrees in environmental engineering. Okay, when I was studying, we still have a separate department for environmental engineering. Okay, but now I have found that in many universities they have combined it, but still environmental engineering is considered a separate field because you need the knowledge of many other fields, especially science. So you cannot be a good environmental engineer if you don't have knowledge of chemistry and other fields, even plants and human health and so on. It's a very specialized field. So yes, they are called as environmental engineers, but they are not only environmental engineers. Okay, there's more science into it. So environmental engineers look at environmental protection. Okay, and it's an open field for civil engineers, by the way. We are very well equipped to take on this field. We have our MSc program from Civil Engineering Department. One of the specialization in that program is environmental engineering. Okay, so as a civil engineer, you can go on and become an environmental engineer. Okay, so we teach you the basic courses. There are, I believe, at least 4 or 5 courses from environmental engineering, wastewater, and so on. And then we have the MSc program if you go on for that. Okay, so it's an open field for you. You can like, it's not, I'm not just showing it because you can work with environmental engineer. You can become environmental engineer yourself, and then if you become that, then you have very good opportunities with the international organizations. Okay, organizations which are under UN and World Bank and Asian Bank and so on. So they have a lot of demand for environmental engineers. Okay, or people who are doing some sort of specialization in environmental engineers. For example, some of you have taken green concrete, recyclable material for their term projects. So these things, even if you become a material engineer, but your focus is towards this thing, you can have a lot of demand with these international bodies. Okay, so environmental engineers work with waste management. Okay, how to collect the waste, how to transfer it from one place to the other, how to recycle it, how to dump it, how to get rid of it with minimum environmental damage. Pollution control from the processes. Okay, you have already mentioned many industries now. All these industries, when chemical processes happen in them, they have some environmental pollution, okay, coming out of them. Uh, then, which other field of civil engineering? We have talked about a specialization in civil engineering earlier, if you remember. Which other specialization in civil engineering has a lot of environmental pollution problem? I'm not saying engineering, I'm saying civil engineering now. Yes, you should remember which fields of civil engineering we have, and then you can answer me accordingly. Construction, little bit, but the other field which I am talking about has more contribution, more than construction. Construction is something which is temporary. No, structural, not at all. Not at all. Like this field is transportation, yes. Transportation, yes. Okay, so traffic, transportation. No, transportation, the most important one. From the fields of civil engineering, transportation is the one which has the most, the continuous, and I believe the highest proportion of pollution, because you know transportation produces noise pollution. It produces a lot of gases when you are using the car, and then it produces a lot of waste as well. It consumes a lot of fuel as well. Okay, so all these are environmental pollution aspects. Okay, so in case of pollution control, and transportation has a lot of effect on it. So anyways, going back to environmental engineering, uh, the one of the things which they do is pollution control. So you have industries which are producing pollution, you have transportation, you have aluminum industry, you have steel industry. All of them have their share of production of pollution. So what can we do? Can we shut down these industries? We cannot. So we have to work with the chemical engineers and other sort of engineers to reduce the environmental effect as much as possible. This is called as pollution control. So we cannot eliminate them, the pollution. We can just control it, minimize it. And then they look for sustainability aspect as well, which where you see that okay, this thing may not have much effect now, but what will be the effect in the long term. Okay, then we have biomedical engineers. They work with medical devices, because medical devices are becoming more even complex, and they are more being used now, and there are new devices involved, new devices coming up. Okay, so now we have even sensors, small sensors which you can put inside the body. People are manufacturing uh, medicines which will have sensors in them. Okay, so you will eat it, and the chemical will go to the place where you need it the most, something something. Okay, so that's why engineers are more involved here. Industrial engineers, their job is basically management. Okay, so yes, they know about the industrial processes, but they are trying to manage the process. They are designing the process itself, not the machines. So they are like they are very close to mechanical, but mechanical is dealing with the machine itself. This person is dealing with the process, what is happening with the machine. Okay, and what is happening within the whole factory. So in Pakistan we have a separate department for that. Okay, here we don't have. Okay, then we have materials engineers. I believe one of you mentioned it. So these people, they deal with materials. Okay, they focus on materials, and they could be related to many fields. In civil engineering we deal with materials, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. So any person from these fields can go on and become a material engineer. One of you can specialize in materials. Okay, we have many people, many friends who have done civil engineering, and now their specialization is materials, concrete materials, pavement materials. Okay, so some of these fields now you can see are open for you. You have to work with one of these fields. Okay, very closely. Mechanical, electrical for sure. Aerospace engineers, maybe. Okay, if you go into that field. Material engineer, for sure, you can become a material engineer. Environmental engineer, yes. Okay, and in many cases when you work with these people, the knowledge gets shared. Okay, so you will find a lot of people who are multi-dimensional. Okay, they have expertise in multiple fields, so they can tell you about something. They are construction engineers or construction managers, but they have a good sense about the environmental engineering as well, or they have good knowledge about materials as well, because they are working closely with the experts of those fields. Okay, so people who are working in the airport management, airport maintenance, airport construction, they develop very good understanding of the aircraft design as well, and so on and so forth. Okay, uh, so this is example. Okay, we are reaching near the end. So so you can so from these fields we have how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So out of these 10 fields, select any 3, and you from each field you put what type of work or what type of product they provide for the society. Okay, and you post it in the blackboard. Okay, so this is the end activity. You can do it. It will remain open. Okay, any submission which is done today, I will accept it. Okay, and I will take the attendance as part of the 15 marks for the classwork. Okay, and next lecture, like I mentioned, I was doing it today, but some of you requested that I do it on Wednesday. So on Wednesday